Hi, everybody. This is Annalisa with Journey to the Goddess. Today, I am in Rome at the Church St. Mary Magdalene in the Piazza of Mary Magdalene. It's Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to anybody who sees this. Today is a very significant day, obviously, for Christians. But looking at the symbolic aspect of death and rebirth, I think that it's important to remember the role that Mary Magdalene played both in the gospel stories as the person who received the message of the resurrection, of the death and rebirth. But more important, there's a death and rebirth of Mary Magdalene in the consciousness of the people. There's a death and rebirth of the divine feminine where her importance is growing. And we're looking at not just male-centric mythologies and male-centric belief systems, but looking at where the feminine fits in, where women fit in, looking at all the different aspects and manifestations of what the divine feminine could mean and how that is a reflection for women of what womanhood can look like. So Mary Magdalene, not only does she have a significant role in the gospel stories as the person who relayed the news, but she was also a teacher, and that's being revived in our consciousness so that we can know that women are intelligent. They can be spiritual authorities. Her mythologies really speak to her love and her devotion. Not just for Christ, but for what she believed in. And she was committed to that to the end. And she was committed to him, whether as a beloved or as a equal. She believed in him and she believed in the message. And so I think that's a really important piece of the Mary Magdalene story that's worth remembering. And the significance of Easter can really be about death and rebirth of oneself. And it doesn't have to be about a literal bodily resurrection to heaven. But if that's what you believe, fantastic. There's power in knowing that you can change yourself every single day. And every moment you can choose something different for yourself. And again, the other part is that the divine feminine is rising. The resurrection of the divine feminine, and especially Mary Magdalene and her many, many roles, her many archetypes, give women possibilities to say, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can be that. We co-create with our mythic images. Mary Magdalene is just one of many mythic images. I really encourage you to think about what the significance and symbology of Mary Magdalene can mean for you outside of the traditional narrative of who she was, whether you believe she was a redeemed prostitute or a spiritual teacher and authority. What is the significance of the death and rebirth, and how does that relate to you and your life? Thank you for joining me in this adventure to visit the Church of Mary Magdalene in Rome. I'm really excited to be here. I wasn't able to get in last year, so this year I've made it in 2 times. It's a beautiful church. Baroque, was completed in 1699. I believe it was built on top of another church. You'll get a peek inside in just a minute. All right, from Rome. Ciao.